Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the part 2 of character creation for 13th Age. So, last we left off, we did our stats, found out the ability score increases due to our race and our class, level, armor class, PD, MD, relations, backgrounds, and racial power, which came with the race. So, we are going to then go on to our hit points, HP. So, it is for Barbarian in any other class. It is listed as a numerical number, or as a number, your con modifier, and times a certain number. Each one's different to some extent. Barbarian, of course, being one of the hardier classes, will have a higher number to start with, plus your con. So, I don't need a calculator for this, because that is 27. 7, 2 times 3. Terrible, 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 terrible. Just give me the drag tool. Cool. Alright, 27. And then we just duplicate it on the other side. 27. Alright. Recoveries. Recoveries is a rally. Probably 8 doesn't do me justice, does it? So anyways, these are a rally. Now, these are a standard action in game unless you get a magic item or something that changes it to a move or a quick action. And it always comes down to this. It is always going to be a dice roll plus or times your level, and additional is your con. So for this, it'll be 10. Oop. It'll be 10. 1 plus 2. I really don't need to write down the 1 yet because obviously level 1. Let's see. Cool. So the Barbarian includes 2 different armor classes, one for shield and light armor, and one for light armor. A lot of people, when they do Barbarian class, will just do a 2-handed build. And I just went with the light armor, no weapon. I can always change that later, especially when we get gear. Next, we should do... we should go ahead and just do our talents. Alright. Barbarians, any melee weapon they want. As shown here. There is no negative modifiers for whatever weapon we choose. There are negative modifiers for crossbows. Probably because they're too sophisticated for Barbarian. You know, if we're going to use fantasy logic, that's probably just too complicated. Though a javelin, axe, and spear make complete sense. And it gives you a long range option. Longbow, no -5, and I think longbow is the best, or these two are the best ranged weapons in the game without magic weapons. So use strength for melee and dex for ranged. And miss damage equal to your level only with melee attacks, none for ranged. So, of course, we get the class feature of Barbarian Rage. Once a day, you can make 2d20 rolls, and if I roll a natural 11 plus, it is a critical hit. Oh, if the highest attack roll is a hit, it is a critical hit. And it's a 16 plus after battle. There's also the adventure feat. You can rage after escalation is 4 plus. Not very often, at least in my campaigns, not very often do we get to a really high escalation with newbie encounters, unless of course I include a lot of mooks. So, let's see here. Alright, here's the adventure feats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Talents, I'm sorry. You get talents. You get 3 talents for a adventure character. 1, 2, 3. Barbarians also get a 4th and 5th one. 1 champion and 1 elite later on. So, let's go through these. Barbarian Cleave, once per battle, free action. You can make a attack after dropping a non-mook foe to 0. Okay, and if that essentially gives you an extra attack if you hit somebody hard enough and kill them. Building Frenzy, plus 1d4 if you've missed with an attack. This also will stack up 4 times, so your 5th attack does 4d5, or 4d4 if you actually hit. And you can always get this better with your feats that you can get. Slayer. Cool. Slayer, you walk up to somebody, you deal an additional 1d6 if they were staggered and you didn't start engagement with them. Strongheart, d12s for recovery dice instead of d10. You're declared once per battle, use Unstoppable before making an attack. If your attack hits at least 1 target, you can heal using recovery. Yep, okay, cool. So Unstoppable seems like a very good thing to have when you're in the thick of it. Whirlwind. You can make a whirlwind as first action. Whirlwind's also for a thick of it kind of character. So, from these, we should choose what kind of character we're using. If we're using a classic barbarian, classic fantasy barbarian, maybe not even fantasy, low fantasy probably be better. Think of Conan, right? If you're going to run into the thick of it, use your barbarian rage, and just try to demolish everyone around you. Strongheart, Unstoppable, and Whirlwind seem to be pretty good options here. Whirlwind, so that you can take a -4 penalty to your AC and PD, but you can roll an attack against every single one of your enemies. And if you're raging at the time, you roll twice to hit, and you could critical every single one of the enemies you're fighting against. Or with Unstoppable, which means if your attack hits, you can heal using recovery, and Strongheart meaning that your recoveries are d12s instead of d10s. Let's say that you're the kind of character with bad luck, though. Building Frenzy would be really good for somebody who just doesn't hit anything. Speaking from experience, that'd probably be something I would have to pick, because I roll atrociously most times. So Building Frenzy would work pretty good. If you just want to be like a monk-like character, somebody who runs around the field, Barbaric Cleave and Slayer would both be really good for you. You can, obviously, if you kill the opponent you're with, you can then run over to the next guy with Slayer and deal an additional 1d6, 2d, 10d6 damage to that other character if they are staggered. Say that your paladin had dealt them almost all the blows that they can handle, and then you just come in and kill steal them. I mean, if your other player's cool with that and he doesn't want to re-roll and make a new paladin character, that'd be the best way to go. So, I think for this one, we're going to go with Strongheart. I want to spell it the other way. I want to spell it like Lionheart with an HRT, but you know, that's a personal preference. Hopefully that's how you spell it. Am I right? Yep. Double consonant. Now this does not leave enough room to help out with definitions of things. So if you have a PDF like I do, if you have ways to get this stuff written down on a notepad, that'd be great. So Strongheart, unstoppable. So I'm going for a self-sustaining kind of character. Do I really want to be in the thick of it? Do I have enough bad luck to warrant a building frenzy? Do I? Or do I want to, you know, be the aggressive support character and get Slayer? Well, let's see. Fisherman, drunk, storyteller background. I imagine my character just wants to hit things and keep hitting things until there's no more things to hit. Do I want to be a finisher or do I want to be a starter? And I feel like Barbaric Cleave works best for this character build, this idea, because he's going to down somebody, recover at the same time, and make his and recover heartily. Though, why this? Though I think I am going to go with Slayer with this one. Alright, this isn't working the way I hoped it would. Why have you forsaken me? Oh, no. Oh, no. Gonna have to erase something, aren't I? Do. Transparency, the only way to go. Oh no, I can't get it. Guess we'll just have to undo and redo. Like I said, I think Slayer is the best idea here. Because the idea of this character, he just wants to run around, punch things in the face. There's no reason to build Frenzy because I am not... I assume I'm not going to miss every swing that I take, but, you know, I've been playing this a long time. I miss a lot. And it's still fun. Even if I am the butt of most of the jokes. So, there's the talents. There's that. We can then talk about feats. Now, feats. As a non-human, you start off with 1. And that could be any of these things that say feat on them. There's also a boatload of miscellaneous that we can go and get. See, this one just makes unstoppable almost seem... No, it's still useful. It's let's see, +2 to Barbaric Cleave, but it hits recovery. It's really good. I guess this is a quick action. It doesn't really say, but then it says here it's a free action. Slayer +2 to Slayer attacks. Though I have to caution and say you won't always know when an enemy is staggered, but in the book it says that for any time you have a specific trigger for attacks, your DM does need to tell you if you can go with that, or if it can work. Like with Necromancers and their Death Knell ability. And it's Knell. Anyway, so I have to tell my PC who's playing a Necromancer if a character is below 5 or less HP. It says in the book I have to. It also makes sense. If the character does not know if he can use Death Knell and he uses it, he just wasted a quick action, a move action, or his standard, because occasionally he just transfers everything and heals our entire party because, wow, he is the cleric. Like, so that's less important as, say, I think Barbaric Cleave would be in this instance, but we shouldn't rule anything out yet. As a quick action, you can rage for free. It doesn't count as your normal usage. That's actually really good. That is probably better than anything else here, because at 4+, you're in the thick of it. If you're not wrapping up the battle by, if you're not wrapping up the battle by 4, it's time to break out the big guns because you're going to be in for a long haul. So I think we'll do that. I think we'll do. And I write shorthand all the time. I'm sorry. So with that, we need to talk about recoveries, I think. Let's look around. It won't tell me, will it? Nope. I have to go on the very front of the book. Oh, yeah. Right, okay. So, 8. Unless, of course, you are a special kind of class, like Necromancers, I believe, get 7 or 6. It really depends. It also depends on your Constitution modifier. Oh yeah, Necromancers get a negative modifier for their attacks if they have a positive con, just so you know. So, that's a thing. Let's go back to Barbarian. Gear, let's see. 25 GP or 1d6 GP. Well, let's go ahead and just use a 1d6. I'm adventurous. I'm gonna regret this. One more roll, and I'll take the result. Oh, damn it, I did it again. Oh well. It makes for a more interesting character, doesn't it? 10 GP. Not a lot, but it's something. Now, what happened to... What happened to this? Okay, cool. So, then we have all this written, or we have everything except for my one unique thing written down. And I haven't bought equipment yet. How long has this been? 19 minutes. Okay, I'll keep going. Let's go to page 5. Let's see where equipment is. Oh yeah, there's also a lot more feats that you can go through, but oops, didn't mean to touch that. But for the sake of brevity, even though this isn't brief, I'm going to skip that. Now, let's look at armor. So I could just have nothing else other than leather armor. But a lot of this is for flavor text. You don't need to have anything in particular. Say my character wants a great sword or a great axe, or you know, anything on this list. Since my character is good with all martial weapons except for crossbows, it's completely within my realm of possibility to just get whatever's here. So, a poor character doesn't really have much to his name. A shield and spear would cost me 7. So let's go ahead and go with that. Shield and spear cost me 7. Go back to here. What does a spear do in my hands? It's a two-handed weapon. Never mind. Go back again. Was it 60? Shield and spear. That could always work. I can go back to that idea in a minute. So a long sword and shield would be out of my price range. A hand axe, 1d6, would be within my price range. I think it's 1d6. 1d4, I think that's a 1d6. I might just go with club. It's the cheapest option here. How does money convert again? It does not say. I think it's 10, 10, 10, if I remember right. I hate having to look while I'm doing things, but 1 gold piece is 10, 1 silver is 10. Alright, cool. So, I have 10 GP here. I'm not going to get used to that. What am I ruining? Did I ruin anything? Not really. Okay, cool. So, I have 10 GP. I have 9 GP. Let's use calculator. I have 10 GP. I now have 9, 10, 9 and 10 silver. Minus 0.05. I have 9 and 5 silver. So, I have a club. What does a club do in my hands? Well, a club in my hands is a 1d. Is it seriously a two-handed weapon? A pain. Alright, so let's just get. Let's see. Let's get a hand axe and a shield. Alright, let's just do that. This is getting too ridiculous, even for me. I don't know why that keeps happening. I'm not gonna question it. How did it get up? How did they get up there? Cool. All right. So a hand axe is actually pretty useful in other aspects of this as well, including roleplay reasons of like chopping down. Is that how you spell shield? I'm absolutely the dumbest person. Yes, okay. So, with a hand axe, so dumb. I'm so dumb. I'm sorry. 10. It's a hand axe 3. So, 10 minus 8. 2 gold. 2 gold. What can I get here? make it 2.9 or 1.9. I'm gonna get a sleeping bag or sleeping roll. Oops. I say oops a lot, I'm sorry. Sleeping roll. Where's some rations? Rations, alright. Road rations for a day. 5 silver pieces apiece. So, that would leave me with, let's see, 3 days rations and 4 silver. But before I write down 4 silver, is there anything else I can do here? Well, if I'm a drunkard, alcohol caught my eye really quick. I don't want a pitcher, I want a bottle. I can get really good wine. I get really shit wine, or I can get decent wine. I have 4 silver less. That means 40 copper. I can have 4 or 10 bottles of bad wine. How would I carry that? I'd probably carry it around my sleep sack. You know what? That makes sense. A drunkard. Right? Alright, so with this listed and this stuff pretty much done, let's think of one unique thing about our character, right? A name for half elf. I always use a name generator to give myself some ideas. Never did decide if it was a male or female, but fisherman and drunkard is honestly what I'd consider to be more of a male thing. So, Zankus. What's a good name? Zankus the... I want Zankus the Robbed, but, synonyms for range. The Passionate. Oh, man. Spleen? Zankus the Spiteful. That's cool. I like that. Alright, so, one unique thing about Zankus the Spiteful. This is where all of our information can come together. Oh, that's how that's how that keeps happening. Alright. That's how that happened. Bloody hell. Nothing works. Click off. What's one thing that we can think of for Zenkus the Spiteful that would make them unique amongst everyone else that exists? Before I mess up there. Yes, one unique thing. One unique things that that don't give a person combat powers or bonuses are completely allowed. Usually. One character's uniques can grow. They can be suggested by the background. They help with the story. If they hint at power, something that you might, as your own character, unlock later on. Say, like, I had one person, or there's one person in here that wrote, I don't know if I'll find it, even if I care, that said that I am the reincarnation of the Great Druid and I know everything. That's a great thing. That's really good. Except for you don't. You are going to level up your character and remember things more and more as your character progresses. You are not going to be the arch druid immediately. So, here we go with a few. I am a dragon who is born covered in scales of a dragon. It could be a great gold worm paladin later on. A paladin of the Crusader cut off my arm where a demon bow was being held. All the evils cut out of me. Now I'm a great gold worm paragon. I cut off my arm, just so tough I am. I'm the 3-time winner of the Dwarven Drinking Championships. I can imagine that comes with some like fame with dwarves. I'm a reincarnation of an ancient icon. I don't know which one yet. To you, I might look like a halfling sorcerer, but I'm a dragon that's been stripped of mighty form power. Not that I'll ever tell anyone that. That's funny. That'd be something great. Goodness. There's quite a few things. There's quite a few things you could do with this. So Zach is spiteful, a former fisherman, drunkard, and storyteller. He hates the Prince of Shadows. He is good with the Elf Queen. He probably lives in the Empire. That's why him and the Emperor are like, meh. So, oh no. I thought that was a good one too. There we go. I know the Prince of Shadows and the Emperor are colluding, conspiring to bring ruin, but I don't have proof or a reason why. So, that's pretty interesting. And that would be something your DM would go, all right, and he could either take it and never use it ever, or he uses it to great effect to make the campaign better and to prove you right if you catch the correct plot points that are involved in that. So I hope this has been helpful when it comes to making a 13th Age character. I know that I'm not exactly the best orator in the world, but if besides from equipment numbers, I hope that I was able to help you enough to understand the basics of making your character. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to read them. I know I can get better with my oration and probably my fluidity in these. But if you could leave a comment and tell me what else to do, that'd be great. Thank you.